Welcome to Storyflix. In this video, we will explain Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. This movie tells the story of a famous actor who comes to shoot a film at a high school, and he meets a girl who is an extra in his film. They become attracted to each other because of their honest and sincere personalities. But can love with different statuses survive? Let's find out in Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight begins by showing a girl named Hinata Hanazawa, a sincere high school student with good grades. At that time, Hinata's classmates seemed to be admiring the good looks of an actor who is also a member of a famous boy group through videos circulating on social media. Unlike her friends who are crazy about the actor, Hinata looks focused on doing her schoolwork and doesn't care about other things. Hinata really just wants to focus on her school to graduate with the best grades and be accepted at the university she wants. Hinata wakes up early every day to water the plants and help her parents prepare breakfast. Not only that, but she also helps take care of her little sister. One night, Hinata is seen reading the Cinderella fairy tale to her little sister. Hinata also fantasized about having a love story like Cinderella who fell in love and eventually married a handsome prince. At the same time, she saw a handsome actor on television and fell in love with the actor because of his handsome looks like the handsome prince in Cinderella's story in her mind. Hinata then asked about the handsome actor she saw on television to Hikari Isoyama. Apparently, Hikari is a fan of the actor and told her that the actor will be filming at their school and involving several students during the filming process. The next day at school, Hinata and Hikari are asked to help the filming film crew. Hinata accidentally collides with Kaide Ayas, the handsome actor who has stolen her attention. Hinata was speechless when Kaide smiled at her, and she was very happy that Kaide smiled at her. While on the school grounds, Hinata noticed that Kaide was looking at her buttocks and was very surprised by Kaide's behavior, which she thought was impolite. Hinata suddenly stumbled and fell, which caught the attention of Kaide, who was now looking at her buttocks. She was very embarrassed and just left. The next day, Hinata, who was still very upset and didn't believe Kaide's behavior, then measured her buttocks. After that, she asked her mother for permission to go outside. Hinata turns out to be planning to go to the cinema, but she arrives an hour early. While waiting for the film's scheduled screening, Hinata then went to the children's playground, where she played with the doll's claw machine and tried to get a teddy bear to gift her sister. However, no matter how hard she tried until the coins were almost gone, she couldn't get the doll. She hoped she could get the doll this time at the last chance. Behind her suddenly appeared a young man who told her how to play a doll's claw machine to get the doll she wanted. Hinata followed the young man's direction and finally got the doll she wanted. When Hinata turned back to say thank you, Tsuchi was very surprised because the young man who helped her was none other than Kaide. Hinata immediately shouted Kaide's name, not wanting his whereabouts to be known by the people who were there. Kaide then invited Hinata to leave the place immediately. Hinata blushed as Kaide took her hand. Kaide then told Hinata about his hobby, which made Hinata chuckle because Kaide has a very unique hobby. Hinata, who remembered that she would watch a movie at the cinema, then said goodbye to Kaide. When she was about to run to the cinema, Hinata's shoes suddenly broke. But she didn't want to make a fuss and immediately rushed to leave Kaide. Arriving at the cinema, Hinata kept remembering the moment when Kaide ran holding her hand, which of course made her very happy. Surprisingly, Kaide appeared at the cinema and sat next to her. Kaide then asks if Hinata likes romantic movies, and she replies that she doesn't really like it. However, when the film ended, Hinata seemed to be in tears because she was very touched by the romance in the film. Hinata then apologizes to Kaide for lying by saying she doesn't like romantic movies. Hinata then tells Kaide that she has never fallen in love with someone and hopes that she can one day feel the beauty of falling in love with someone and have a love story like a love story in a fairy tale with a happy ending. Kaide then asked Hinata to take off her shoes. Then he gave his shoes to Hinata because he felt sorry for Hinata, who was wearing broken shoes. After that, Kaide said goodbye to go home. The next day, Kaide comes to Hinata's school, where it causes a stir among the students. Kaide then entered Hinata's class and approached her to return her shoes that he had repaired. Not only that, Kaide even put the shoes on Hinata right in front of everyone. Hinata was very happy because a handsome prince put shoes on her like Cinderella, who wore glass shoes by her prince. Hinata then returned Kaide's shoes. After that, Kaide wrote down his phone number on Hinata's hand and asked her name. That night, Hinata tries to call the phone number written by Kaide, but it turns out that the number is no longer in use. Feeling that Kaide had lied to her, she was annoyed and deleted the phone number. A few days later, Kaide saw Hinata, who was on her way back to her house. Kaide then chases after her and tells her that he always waits for a call from her. But Hinata informed that she had tried to contact Kaide, but the phone number given by Kaide could not be reached and showed the evidence. Kaide then said that it was his old number. When Kaide was about to enter his number into Hinata's cell phone, the girl immediately grabbed her cell phone back and told Kaide to stop pranking her, then left him just like that. Kaide chased after Hinata again, and this time he was desperate to kiss Hinata. Hinata suddenly felt panicked and happy at the same time. Kaide once again asked Hinata's name, and after knowing her name, Kaide asked her on a date. The next day, Kaide picks up Hinata and takes her to his apartment. Arriving at Kaide's apartment, Hinata was amazed by his apartment's luxury and the large collection of films he had. While they watched a movie together, Kaide suddenly fell asleep and rested his head on Hinata's shoulder. When Hinata was about to touch his hair, Kaide woke up and suddenly laid Hinata on the sofa, about to kiss her. But then, Kaide's manager came and caught the two of them. Kaide then said that Hinata was her girlfriend. The man looked surprised when he found out that Kaide already had a girlfriend. More than that, Kaide's girlfriend turns out to be a high school student. After Hinata came home, the manager then warned Kaide about the love affair with a high school girl, which could affect his career as an actor, especially since he is currently involved as the main character in a television drama. Meanwhile, Hinata looks happy because of her closeness to Kaide. However, her happiness suddenly disappeared when she received a message from Kaide saying they couldn't meet for a while because he was busy filming. On the other hand, Hikari feels suspicious that Hinata already has a boyfriend by seeing Hinata's behavior, which looks confused. However, Hinata's childhood friend, Akira Hamab, doubts Hikari's words. It turns out that Akira secretly likes Hinata, but he never expresses his feelings. One day, Hinata helps Akira take care of his family's flower shop. Akira then tries to express his feelings to Hinata, but she thinks he is joking. After that, Akira received an order for a bouquet of flowers to be delivered to the filming location and asked Hinata to deliver it. Arriving there, Hinata met Kaide and accidentally burst into tears because she saw Kaide's romance with his co-star on the set. The two then met and talked secretly, where Kaide suddenly bit Hinata's nose to signify that Hinata's first kiss would be with Kaide. However, unbeknownst to Hinata and Kaide, the woman who is Kaide's co-star, whose name is Shuichida, turns out to be watching them secretly and looks annoyed. One day, Kaide asks Hinata on a date. But she then refused because that day she had promised to celebrate Akira's birthday in her house because her family was going to her grandmother's house. On the other hand, Hikari and Akira are already in front of Hinata's house, where Hikari plans to give Akira a chance to express his love for Hinata. But apparently, inside Hinata's house there was already Kaide, who decided to join Akira's birthday celebration. When Hinata and Hikari were away, Kaide and Akira were also involved in a conversation where Kaide realized that Akira liked Hinata and felt jealous seeing the closeness of Hinata and Akira, who had been close friends since childhood. After Akira's birthday, Kaide tells Hinata that he feels jealous seeing Hinata and Akira's closeness, once again asking Hinata to date him. When Hinata visited Kaide's apartment the next day, she was very surprised when she accidentally saw Kaide shirtless. Hinata then helps Kaide dry his hair while listening to Kaide talk about the new role he will play in a drama, which is to become a pianist. Hinata then suggested that Kaide be diligent in practicing the piano to play the role well. She also said that she had taken piano lessons in the past, but because the fees were quite expensive, she decided to quit because she didn't want to burden her family. In reality, Hinata was an adopted child. Kaide then gave the key to his apartment to Hinata and said that she could come to his apartment at any time. While at school, Hinata received news that Kaide had dated Shuichida. Hinata then asked Hikari this, who confirmed the news. But now, Kaide and Shu are no longer in a relationship after breaking up 2 years ago. In the evening, Hinata visits Kaide's apartment to bring food. Because the conditions in the apartment looked dim, she thought that no one was inside. But apparently, Hinata caught Kaide and Shu kissing. Hinata was very surprised and immediately left from there. Kaide then chased after her, intending to explain everything. But Hinata already felt hurt and disappointed, so she didn't want to hear his explanation. Kaide then returned to his apartment and told Shu to go home. But Shu said that she still loves Kaide and regrets ending their relationship. After that incident, Hinata became sad and depressed, so her mother asked Akira to come and cheer her on. But Akira instead asked Hinata to forget about Kaide because Hinata would be tortured instead. Akira then re-expresses his feelings for Hinata and says that he doesn't mind if Hinata doesn't like him. However, Akira doesn't want Hinata to be sad and hurt. When she comes home from school, Shu meets Hinata, where Shu says she is dating Kaide again. Hinata then complimented Shu and said that she would never be compared to her, who is beautiful and has everything. However, Hinata frankly said that it was the first time she fell in love with someone and only Kaide could make her happy. Therefore, she will never stop loving Kaide because only he can make her happy. Hearing Hinata's confession, Shu then revealed that she had lied and did not get back with Kaide. Initially Shu intends to prank on Hinata. But after realizing that Hinata really loves Kaide, Shu finally melts. After that, Hinata met Akira and told him that she only loved Kaide. Hinata then apologizes to Akira for not being able to reciprocate his feelings. That night, Kaide comes to Hinata's house to apologize and explain everything. Hinata apologized to him for immediately leaving without listening to his explanation first. The two then shared their feelings for each other and hugged. Hinata and Kaide then go on a date at an amusement park which is entirely rented by Kaide so they can have fun to their heart's content. Before going home, Kaide gave a necklace to Hinata as a gift and since then, they have been spending a lot of time together. However, over time, their relationship began to be known by the public and many people were not happy and threw hate speech at Kaide because they thought that Kaide had taken advantage of Hinata who was actually a minor. Knowing this, Hinata also intends to meet Kaide and explain everything to reporters. But Hinata's mother forbade it because she thought her actions would only worsen Kaide's situation. On the other hand, the manager asked Kaide to hold a press conference and clarify the news of his close relationship with Hinata. The man asks Kaide to leave Hinata, but Kaide says he loves Hinata and feels happy when he is with her. The next day, Hinata receives a call from Kaide's manager and asks her to meet him. The man then asks Hinata to leave Kaide and no longer see him to save his career as an actor. The manager said Kaide actually had a disease, so he was forced to resign from the boy group that catapulted his name. On the next date at the cinema, Hinata decides to end her relationship with Kaide because she doesn't want to hurt Kaide and ruin his career. Kaide was silent hearing Hinata's decision, even though his heart was shattered into pieces. Since then, Hinata has always looked sad and gloomy because she must be separated from the person she loves. A few days later, Kaide held a press conference in front of many reporters where he apologized to the public for causing a stir. Kaide also said he really loves Hinata, but then he promised never to see her again and focus on his work as an actor. Because of Kaide's statement, Hinata became even sadder. But Akira then calmed her down. Elsewhere, one of Kaide's friends, who is a member of a boy group, comes to see him and realizes that Kaide has always kept his problems to himself. The man emphasized that the other boy group members never blamed Kaide for what happened and always supported him. Long story short, Kaide eventually became a top actor and managed to get an award in Barcelona. In his apartment, the manager was seen checking all the letters and gifts from Kaide's fans. But the man was seen hiding a letter. On the other hand, Hinata is back to studying piano. Hinata then met Akira who gave her a movie ticket because it was her birthday. Elsewhere, Kaide is seen celebrating his success as a well-known actor. The boy group members appeared to attend the event to support Kaide. Kaide's manager then handed him a letter which was sent by Akira along with a cinema ticket. In the letter, Akira told Kaide to meet Hinata at the cinema. Kaide rushed to the cinema but felt disappointed that Akira didn't come. It turns out, Akira plans to give the most beautiful gift to Hinata on her birthday, namely by uniting Kaide and Hinata again, because he is aware that Hinata will always love Kaide, as well as Kaide who only loves Hinata. Therefore, Akira intends to unite the two lovebirds to find happiness. Hinata and Kaide finally meet again after 3 years apart. Kaide then wished Hinata a happy birthday and gave her a beautiful pair of shoes as a birthday present. After that, Kaide proposes to her, which she accepts. A fairy tale that seems difficult to be realized in the real world. Even so, one of the lessons we can take from this film is the figure of Akira who shows true friendship. Even though he loves Hinata and has expressed his feelings, he then realizes that Hinata will never love him and will always love Kaide. However, Akira doesn't necessarily become angry and hates Hinata. He tries to bring back happiness for Hinata and Kaide with all his heart because for him, Hinata is his true friend, and he doesn't want Hinata to suffer.